The other day, basically yesterday, I wrote a post about insufferable people and how we can be less selfish in life, and it came purely from my own experiences in life and from my own reflections from the way I've been behaving with people. So I thought of writing down that post because obviously it's going to help a lot of people, because I'm not the only one who's going to be having some of these traits that you know are kind of stopping me from developing beautiful relationships with people. So I wrote this post yesterday, and then there was this guy. He was a junior from my school that I studied in Kerala. He came and texted me asking, like, hey Lirit, I have so many questions. Even he writes, and he came up to me being like, how do I get rid of stage fear and stuff like that? How do I speak better on stage, especially when I've practiced well, but then I am really like scared of like just going up there and doing this presentation or whatever. And I was like, the thing is, why is he asking me? It's the first question that would probably come up in your mind, right? Like, I'm a writer. Why the fuck is he asking me? Well, the thing is, I've given plenty of speeches, both impromptu and prepared, in front of a large audience and a minor audience. So minor audience, small audience, and I think that's the reason why he decided to ask me. And I was not good at this thing. I was not good at this. I don't even think I'm good at it now. But the thing is, I feel much more comfortable speaking in front of a group of people, even though I get anxious and I'm scared and I'm shy sometimes. The thing is, people view me as someone who's extroverted and stuff, and I don't know how to view myself as, because in some situations I indeed am extroverted, and that some situations is most of the situations. I just don't feel this social anxiety when it comes to like just talking to people and stuff. But sometimes I do. Sometimes it stops me from like going out there and talking to people and stuff like that. So I was like, bro, listen, there's this one habit that I did that genuinely changed the game for me, because this is where I come from, right? I come from a place inside where I am deeply anxious when it comes to like just performing in front of people, because what if I fail? What if it's this and that? So I gave him the advice. Now, but before the advice, I want to get to how I got to the advice, or how I got to this thing that I kept practicing before my public speech. So before anything that I had to do that involved an audience, how I came to this, right? So I was just thinking about like why I was scared in the first place of a lot of things, of just giving a speech in front of people. And then I came to the conclusion that I'm scared because I'm afraid of failure. I might fumble on stage and I might disappoint them. So fear of failure in executing or speaking properly, fear of disappointing the others, just not trusting myself with it. And these were some of the factors, right? Now I took them and I was like, what the fuck can I do with them? What can I actually do with them? And I thought about it, and then I was like, okay, now this fear of failing in front of people or just fumbling in front of people and stuff, I could get rid of that by practicing a lot, right? That's a generic solution, but I didn't do that. I rather went about a whole visualization practice where I closed my eyes and I visualized the day before. I was like, okay, you know what? Let me visualize myself just in front of the people, in front of the stage. And when I visualized first, bro, my heart started racing, because I was like, fuck, I felt like I was there, even though I was not there, and my mind knew it. But the thing is, you can kind of fool your brain into thinking that you are in certain places through visualization, right? And that's the whole psychology behind visualization and just manifesting things and stuff. But that's a whole topic for another video, another deep laughing session. But the thing is, I did that practice. I practiced that. I did that. And what that did for me is, I kind of started getting comfortable with just the whole environment that involved the audience and that involved myself. And I was just like, okay, so this is how it's going to be tomorrow. So when I'm actually there tomorrow, I'm like, I've already been here before. But then this was not enough for me. I was like, I'm still gonna be shit scared to be in front of people. Then I was like, you know what? Let me visualize what's the worst thing that could possibly happen. Now, before you judge me as being negative at myself, negative or hard on myself or this or whatever, I don't know. Let me just tell you this one thing, okay? So I learned this thing from Stoicism, that in order to be grateful for the things you have, you kind of be negative or force some negativity in your thoughts. Stuff like, okay, let's say I woke up today morning, right? Stoicism and not Stoicism necessarily, but like in Stoicism there is a way to be grateful for your life and for the people around you. Just being like, if you think in this way, which is like, okay, I could have died today, I could have lost this person today, I could have lost all my money today, but I didn't, and I'm grateful for it. I have it with me right now. But it could have happened. A lot of things could have happened in the negative way, but it didn't. So this type of thinking reinforces your mind into just being grateful for the things around you, or just gets your mind to be, what to say, just more in the present moment and stuff, right? So that's what it encourages. Now, I don't know where I read this and stuff, but then all of these, the thing with our brain is that when we think, it's an accumulation of all information that you have consumed or just inherited genetically or whatever throughout your entire life to this point. That is what contributes to the way you think and stuff. So I was just thinking, I was like, what can I do with this? Then I was like, you know what, why not just visualize myself like fumbling, fucking up on stage, failing? What's the worst that could possibly happen? I'm going to imagine what's the worst that could possibly happen on stage. Now, what this did for me is I imagined myself talking, and I imagined myself like skipping words and forgetting what I had to say, just standing there without speaking for like 10-20 seconds, just like I don't usually use a lot of filler words, but I imagined myself using filler words. I imagined myself speaking bullshit. I imagined myself just fumbling in front of people. And what that did for me was just life-changing, because now I've visited what's the worst that could possibly happen. I even imagined the audience's reaction. No one is gonna throw shit at you. No one is gonna do anything. It's just gonna be a silent moment where people are just, they want you to perform well, right? So it's just funny. It's genuinely just funny. And I imagine all the awkward energy that's gonna be around. I imagine people like trying to like help me out and stuff. I went through all that, and I was like, you know what? That is what I feared exactly. And I just faced it through my mind. And it's not happened actually, but my brain had already gone through it. Now the thing is that what it did for me is it basically rid me of this fear that I inherently had regarding just public speaking and just performing in front of people. Because I had nothing more to fear, because I explored my fear. I explored what the worst thing that could possibly happen and unfold in that moment when I go up there. Then I was like, yeah. And another bad thing that could happen is me not having prepared enough. So I prepared enough. I practiced well enough. And the thing with practicing and preparing is that that's just one facet of the whole thing, right? That's just one thing. You could prepare and practice really well, but then when you go in front of people and you start speaking, that's when you're going to be like, fuck, it's deeper than I thought. Maybe you'll be able, like, if it depends on the type of person you are. Some people just don't give a fuck and they are able to like speak properly and stuff. But when it comes to me, if I practice well and I go up to the stage, I'm going to forget everything that I prepared and stuff, because I'm going to be thinking about a lot of other things. So depending on the type of person that you are, you can take some of what you want, whatever you want from whatever I'm speaking. But other than that, filler word, sorry. But like, yeah. The thing about practicing well is that you're gonna be confident okay, listen. You could just practice and still not perform well. But when you visualize, when you're comfortable, when you know what you're gonna face the next day, and when you have conquered your fears by exploring them and being aware of them, the only thing left is your speech, how you articulate on stage, and the content, whatever you say, right? Now if you didn't practice, if you don't know what you're going to be speaking about, if you didn't prepare yourself well enough for it, even though you did all these visualization practices and stuff, like whatever it is that we discussed so far, you're going to still not be able to execute well. So the only thing left for you to do in order to be confident with whatever you have to say is by preparing yourself. And that preparation could possibly include researching, just going through topics, maybe even debating about it with someone, arguing about it with someone, maybe going to research it in different places using AI, I don't know, whatever it is. That preparation could even involve you memorizing the stuff that you have to say, or maintaining a structure, or preparing a list of things that you want to say in a certain specific manner so that you're able to put forward a message in the best possible manner. It could be anything. You need to focus on preparation, practice as well for your best execution of whatever you have to present in front of a group of people. So this is all that's helped me. And I don't know if this was a deep lifing session. We didn't really deep life. I just mainly talked about just public speaking and stage fear and stuff. So that's all for this video. I don't know if it's gonna reach a lot of people, but I'm gonna definitely write a small ebook for this as well. I've already been working on one and it's gonna finish soon, so stay tuned for that. Make sure to subscribe if you've found my content like interesting and if you like me. But other than that, that's all for this video. I'll see you guys in another one. Peace.